Northwest.
Welcome back to the show. You know, the Pacific Northwest is a longtime hub of tech and innovation. It's also home to a revolutionary movie studio that redefined stop-motion animation. LAIKA in Portland puts itself on the map in 2009 with the release of the film Coraline. And it continues to break new ground with new films such as Kubo and the Two Strings and Missing Link. The new exhibit at the Museum of Pop Culture gives an immersive look at how these films were made. And joining me now with a sneak peek is head costumer Deb Cook. Thank you so much for being here and coming up from Portland to join us.
Hi there.
This is amazing. I have got to say, Coraline was unlike anything we'd seen. How, by the way, you brought these friends with you. How do you create these?
So this is Coraline, the actual puppet from the movie.
This was actually used in the movie?
This is the actual puppet, and this is Adelina from Missing Link, also the actual puppet. All handmade costumes, all with engineering underneath them, and steel armatures. Every part of them is animatable, and these have really been through it. These puppets last the duration of our movie, several years. They're built incredibly well. They're very sophisticated, and then they go on and have tours like this. They come here and they do interviews, they do panels, they show up everywhere, they tour for us, and they're their own publicists, so they have quite a life after the movies as well.
I cannot get over the detail. It is astonishing, and I would imagine it has to be, because these are close-up shots. The stop motion catches everything, I would imagine.
It really does, yes. I mean, the detail in some of the costumes is really, really incredible, and you know, if you go to the MoPOP show, you'll absolutely see that. We have big tableaus of all of the scenes, the main scenes with all of the characters in it that you can see really up close and see how the level of detail in the costumes. Yeah.
When you do a film, are all the puppets about the same size? Are there some larger size ones, or is this kind of the standard size for filming?
This is sort of the standard. You know, we've kind of worked out the logistics of what works well for the animators and just the kind of you know, the ergonomic structure of them, how to best animate them and give them longevity as well. We do have bigger ones. We have, you know, in the exhibition, we have a giant skeleton that's like maybe 6 times the height of me.
Oh my gosh!
And we have the giant boat from Kubo as well, which is huge. And we have the Coraline Pink Palace, which is,
neat.
you know, that's kind of in scale with her, but it's still quite a big thing. But then we have like small things that have to be held.
Right.
So if we do a close-up on a hand, we might have to do several 100% bigger with a close-up on the cuff.
Oh my
or
gosh.
the arm, or just certain aspects of them that you see close up.
Because making something, if somebody was to hold, it would have to be so tiny to fit in the puppet's hand, so you have to increase the size.
Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't see the detail if we filmed this, you know, in full screen. So we build a bigger version of it.
You know, this is incredible to me, because I don't think that people, when we see the films, we think, wow, this is so cool, but we don't think about everything that goes into it. As you said, movies take several years to film.
They do, yeah.
What is your role at the studio?
I'm the costume designer there. So I work with the director and the character designer and the production designer, and we work out right at the outset of the movie. We do all the research and the development. So I work several years ahead of the actual shooting time of the movie. I explore all the characters' personalities. I look at the actions they're doing just to see what kind of clothing they might wear, and just kind of grow into their personalities and work out what clothing choices they might have made for themselves to give them an authenticity. And costume gives them a kind of infrastructure for their own emotional arc in the movie as well, and how they fit into the narrative and support the story and give it stronger pivotal points as well when they're making decisions in the movie, or if they're you know, at some point when they go on an adventure, for example, or having a quieter moment, or the kind of emotional interaction and dialogue they're having, making sure that the costumes they're wearing amplify that. It's
so much deeper than just you and I waking up in the morning and getting dressed. I mean, it's so much depth into the character development, what the character is wearing. How is designing costumes for puppets different than humans?
Well, the scale of the material is really important. Like a lot of the things that you see here They're fabrics from our world, but they're really used as bases, and we change them to make them fit with our scale. And also the movement. So for us moving around in our clothing, you get a natural movement that goes with it because the scale of the fabrics and the scale of us is the same.
Right.
But we're using fabrics from our scale and moving them into a smaller scale.
Wow.
So there's a kind of a technical science behind it that's not fully explainable, but the understructures underneath these costumes, they provide the movement and the follow through, because if the puppet is moving in its scale, the fabric is moving in our scale.
Right.
So you have to breach that gap with some crafty engineering that we've developed ourselves at the studio.
That you invented.
Yes, we have. We do all our own inventions.
That is, it really is something that, again, you don't think about how fabric moves at a different scale in relation to this. So the new exhibit is opening at the Museum of Pop Culture this Saturday, March 18th.
Saturday, yes.
Give us a taste of what we can experience. You shared a little bit about the giant skeleton and Coraline's Pink Palace. Is that it right there? Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Oh, wow. What else can people, what are some of the things we're looking at here?
This is the Magic Garden. So this is Coraline's head made up of all movable flowers that are all animatable. It's a huge prop. It's very popular. It looks amazing.
Oh, how amazing.
This is Paranorman's car.
I love Paranorman.
This is the box trolls with them travelling through the town. Oh. This is Susan, missing link.
Yes. Oh, what a delight. What a delight it's going to be for everyone to see. Thank you so much for taking the time to share this incredible work with us. I cannot wait to see everything at this show. Deb, it was a pleasure, absolute pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to talk to you too.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Well